Hey guys, so this is going to be a tutorial for um, these bird's nest embellishments, and they're about the size of a $1/2, which actually I've made them all kinds of sizes, and I don't have my door shut right now, so the dogs are walking in and out, so I apologize if you hear cat toys being kicked around and the pitter patter of little hooves. Okay. Um, so yeah, I got the inspiration from, obviously the Prima Bird's Nest embellishments, but I couldn't bear the thought of paying $6 for a package of six of them. To think of spending $1 for something this small, $1 a piece for something this small, flabbergasted me. But that to each his own. That's just me. So I kind of came up with my own recreation of it, and so I thought I'd share it with you in case you guys wanted to do it too and save your wallet a couple dollars. Okay, so the materials that you will need is your hot glue gun. I'd suggest a low temp gun, otherwise you're gonna burn your fingers off. I guess if you had like those finger protectors, the Mod Podge finger protectors, whatever. You're gonna need moss. I would recommend the staple moss be Spanish moss. I'm gonna zoom out now. Hold on. Okay, we got some mouse here. We got the mouse. Okay, this is Spanish moss. It looks like, to me, it looks like branches, so that's why I chose it. I got the Spanish moss at the Dollar Tree a long time ago. I'm sure they've still got it. My Dollar Tree now doesn't have it because I've got the suckiest Dollar Tree in the world now. And then you're going to need some type of green moss. I had gotten this moss, which is like a greeny brown moss. I don't remember what it's called, from the Dollar Tree. And then I've got some reindeer moss. I've got some moss I pulled off a tree. I've got some old man's beard moss that I picked off the ground. I had a unhealthy fascination with moss for a while. Now I've deviated to rocks. I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't have a small pile of bark on my front porch. Okay, and you will need some cardboard, some scrap cardboard, like, you guys know what scrap cardboard is, right? Some clay, polymer clay, whatever colors you want. You will need paint, brown. I just use brown paint to do the speckles. Scissors, and a toothbrush to do the speckle application. You could also use a stiff horsehair brush, but in my experience, these get really soft the more you try, the longer you use it, so then your speckles just look like brown streaks, and those aren't, brown streaks just are never attractive. So, I'd suggest a toothbrush, just buying a 4-pack at the Dollar Tree if you don't have some already, otherwise you're gonna be, trying to fuss with a limp, brown, streaky brush. Okay. So the first thing that you're gonna want to do is prepare your egg, and I'm just using a scrap of white polymer clay. I've already baked all my eggs because, you've got to bake them. I bet you could even do this with Model Magic if that's what you had. And I'm doing this way bigger than I made the eggs. Like, I made them this size. I'm showing you with the clump of clay this size just so that you guys can see, but I'll also redo it so that you can see how I do it with the smaller ball too. So basically what you want to do is you just want to make it into a ball, or at least this was my method for making the egg. And once you got your ball shaped, then I just took one side and rolled it back and forth like this until you got one side that was thicker than the other. Okay, so for these eggs I started off with for most of them I started off with about a pea size. I didn't measure the amount of clay. I didn't really care. All the eggs are different. They're all different shape. They're all different sizes. So if you start out with the ball that size, then you just take it, and there's your egg. Got some moss stuck to it. I didn't fuss with the fingerprints. If you're really concerned about the fingerprints on your clay, because the clay is already heated up with your body heat, you can go like this with your finger and it'll remove the fingerprints. But because I made like 100+ eggs, I really wasn't too concerned about the fingerprints. You know, they were going in a nest, they were getting brown paint speckled on them. I didn't care about the fingerprints. You know, it wasn't like some big artistic clay piece. You know, it was one small component to a final product. So I wouldn't fuss with the fingerprints, but that's just me. Okay, so once you got your eggs made, then you want to put them in the oven and bake them according to package directions. If you're only doing a small amount, you could even do it with the heat gun. I didn't have one, but even if I did have one, I probably would have done it in the oven anyways because I made so many eggs. Okay, so once you've got your eggs, I've got some that I haven't painted yet. Here's some eggs. Put them on a surface that you can get paint on. And you want to get some brown paint. And you just want to do a drop. That was more than a drop. That was like 2 drops. How wasteful. Okay, so got my toothbrush that's been sitting in water. I need to... This toothbrush looks so wrong how it's so brown. Okay. Just getting the water off. I just go like this. And then speckle the eggs. You don't want to go too heavy on the speckles, but you definitely want to see some speckles. Okay, so before, you're going to want to roll your eggs around on your surface to get the underside of the eggs. But before you do that, go ahead and hit it with your heat gun or your hair dryer, your ghetto hair dryer, and dry those spots so that you don't get brown streaks all over your eggs. And then go ahead and do the splatter again, and you should be good to go there. But I will do that later because I just don't have. Now I got one giant brown streak. How to make a brown streak tutorial. Okay. So once you got your eggs speckled and dried, then you want to get started on your nest. So you want to take your cardboard and cut it into a rough circle, or if you have circle punches, you could do that. I don't. I cut mine into a rough circle. If you're using recycled cardboard and you've got a pattern on one side, you want to make sure the pattern is facing down so that the brown part of the cardboard is facing up. Because when you're gluing on the moss, the last thing you want to see is some color, you know, some advertisement showing through your nest, you know, so the advertisement is on the back. Y'all get that. I know you do. Okay. So this is what you want to do. You want to grab a good amount of Spanish moss. And you just want to start putting on your hot glue. And smushing it on. Poor little Skippy, man. I am not too particular on hot glue, though. As long as they'll shove hot glue out somehow, I'll keep the hot glue gun. Still need to plug in Maud and see if she'll heat up for me, because Maud was stroking out and Maud did not want to heat up for me. I mean, I have to hand it to Maud. She's like a couple decades old. I understand if she just doesn't want to heat up, but hopefully she'll start heating up for me soon, because I don't want to. I like Maud the glue gun because she had good flow. Just want to keep placing on the Spanish moss. Make sure you get the edges of the cardboard circle so that you don't see it. And then as you're doing this, you want to take your thumb and shove it into the center, and you want to break the fibers of the cardboard so it becomes weak, if that makes any sense. And you want to make a domed effect with your finger. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Get some glued moss off my finger. So I don't know if you can see the domed effect on the bottom of these nests. Some are better than others. But the hot glue will kind of help. The hot glue will kind of help keep its shape. And you know what a nest, you know, and will have its domed bottom on most bird nests anyways. And so that's what doing this will kind of help achieve, so that you don't just have a flat, you know, you've got a cup. You've got a mossy cup. And you just want to, you can roughly, don't make it too neat. If you make it too neat, it's not going to look like a nest. Roughly cut the edges, add more glue, add more moss, until you've gotten it as bushy or as non-bushy as you want it. Kind of a messy craft, but I think the end result is worth it. And it's so economical. Just think how many nests you can make. I mean, here's this bag. I mean, you get this huge bag of Spanish moss for $1. You can basically go pull off some green moss off a tree somewhere, as long as you don't live in a cement city. Most people have polymer clay, because even people who don't work with polymer clay every day, you know, went through a polymer clay phase and bought polymer clay at one point. So most people have it. Okay, so next you want to grab a green moss. We'll just grab some of this weird foresty, I don't know what kind of moss it is. You just want to do a really thin layer of glue in the center. And you want to shove that green in the center of the nest. Again, take your thumbs, press down in the center to get that nesty shape. Get that dome shape. I'm gonna trim back some more. And I can't give you a size as to which to cut your cardboard circles, because I personally wanted to make them all kinds of sizes, because I figured, you know, I wanted to make enough bird's nests for me to have for future projects, and who knows what I want to make for a future project. So I wanted, you know, maybe I was making a really large project and I'd need a larger bird's nest. So, you know, I'm making some really small bird's nests, I'm making really large bird's nests. I think you should do whatever will fit your needs the best. Okay. So once you've gotten your bird's nest shaped and you've gotten your inner greenish moss in, next you want to select, see, I was busy. It took a long time to do all these eggs. When I pull out the clay, I do things in mass scale because it's so hard for me to keep. You know, it's like such a hassle for me to pull out my clay that when I do it, I make it worth it. And, you know, I work on clay for the entire day so that, you know, I don't have to go through the hassle the next day. So, I try and stick to, get some hot glue on my finger, stick to the rule of 3. But, you know, they're your nest. You can do whatever you want. And I just put a dollop of glue, shove her down. I try and pick the best side of the, first of all, I try and pick the same color egg. These are like light pink ones, but they came out so light that they're hard to see from the white ones almost. I try and pick them that are kind of similar in size from the first one I picked. But I think it's important to remember that no egg is the same. Oh my goodness. See, that was not the right color egg. I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys. Here's a pink one. I don't know why I thought I was doing a white egg. I should have put my plate back down here when I was trimming my moss, but just having a Chelsea moment. Okay, so that is the nest embellishment. Anyways, I'm really happy with how they came out. Hope you guys make some, save a couple dollars. And thanks for watching. Bye.